cuando este flow hace que muevas el esqueleto. Mosca, no te me distraigas, que hasta tu jevita baila. Más perro que un Rottweiler. Así me pongo yo cuando entro en calor. Cierra tus ojos and make a wish. Si no anda, enciéndete un spliff. Y pégate en el trip. Como en el arte lo hacía Dalí. No hay prejuicios aquí, no. Robert está mal y te lo decía así.
Hey yo, let's go, turn the light down low. Adivina quién llegó, el champion del flow. Llameando, chileando aquí con los bro. Entre música, banda y mucho smoke. That's right, yes I be Rambabai. Pégate en el trip del hip hop reggae style. Why, it's so good, it's so fine. Olvida lo mal y escucha que es so high.
Sube el volumen y olvida lo feo, Vamos a vacilar cuando yo te diga put your hands up high.
Con calma, sin yo, sin prejuicios, con la misma esencia desde el inicio, haciendo la chamba, haciendo el oficio, porque la música es nuestro vicio. Guisa, después te solta una risa, no caigas en arenas movedizas. Piensa, revisa, reacciona, analiza, que para ser feliz no hace falta una visa.
Y pégate en el trip, no. Como en el arte lo hacía Dalí. No hay prejuicios aquí, no.
Oye la wey, ponle más ganas y vacila los panas, que esto es Raguayana y las minas from. Busca mamá Juana y prepara la tisana, que este fin de semana pa' la party es que van. Ponle más ganas y vacila los panas, que esto es Raguayana y las minas from. Busca mamá Juana y prepara la tisana, que este fin de semana pa' la playa es que van.
Sube el volumen y olvida lo feo, Vamos a vacilar cuando yo te diga put your hands up high.
We are almost about to begin dawn.
Sube el volumen y olvida lo feo, Vamos a vacilar cuando yo te...
All right, everybody, how is everybody doing? Can you hear me? Let's have a look. You can, right?
Y olvida lo feo, Vamos a vacilar cuando yo te...
All right, everybody. Yep, everybody can hear me. How is everybody doing? All right. Raúl, buenísima rola, ¿verdad? Buena rola. So, Unite Lancaster, you paid for the VIP singles membership, but you don't know how to access. Well, you have to go to our site, learn to trade and access your client account, and you will find the link there. Right, so how's everybody doing? We have been making money so far. What we have to trade, I don't know. I have no clue what you are trading, mate. 31 people in, 30 people in. Hey, how are you, Raquelita? My queen is in the house. So yesterday, we took a long on the Nasdaq. This was our trade. Um, And well, let me show you actually what I did, right? We took a long from the break of these highs right here, and I closed the trade right at the highs before this dump, right? So we made about 102 pips, exactly 102 pips um, on that trade. Let me see, Nasdaq. I'll show you before placing the trade on the S&P 500. If I can find that trade, Nasdaq. So this is the trade that we took yesterday. I'll show you on the 50-minute chart. This was a VIP trade, right? But everybody that joined me on yesterday's show also, um, they were able to see me placing the trade, and if it made sense to them, they were able to follow it. So basically, what I did is um, like I told you, I took a long at the break of these highs, right? I mean, the rationale behind that trade was explained yesterday, but the reason why I closed it, right, before the open is because I saw this on the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 very, very top heavy at this level of resistance, this key level, right? And the Dow also being capped to the upside. Now, I was looking at the possibility. Actually, I'm going to place a short on the S&P 500 right now. Um, right, a short-term short. Let's have a look at this. And I'm sorry, a pending order. Sell stop right here. Let me just see about the risk to reward on this trade. So it's about a 1-to-1. So I'll take this trade. I don't know why this risk calculator is miscalculating my trades, but that's fine. I'll place that. Enter. Yeah, that's fine. Right. So yeah, I'm placing a sell stop on the S&P 500. I'm going to send that trade to the VIPs. So if you please excuse me for a while, I just have to the toolbox. Here it is, and I need to send this trade to the VIP team. This is how we do things here. Oh boy, hold on. What happened here? I don't know. Telegram. Am I online? Can everybody hear me? Right. So let me just send this trade. You're going to see me sending that trade to my VIPs. So it's a short on the S&P 500. It's a sell stop at my level is hold on. Oh, boom, boom. I haven't been triggered just yet. That's cool. I'm going to modify this a little bit. I'm going to make it 60 and 50 and round number modify. That's cool. So this is my trade on the S&P 500. It's a sell stop. I'm going to go through my thought process on this particular trade in just a little bit. Um, I'm placing my sell stops at the 45, 45, 84, 60, right? And stop losses at the 46, 17, 50, 46, 17, 50, and targeting the 45, 33. Hold on. I have to delete this. 45, 83. 40, no, 45, 33, right? On this short on the S&P 500. Let's have a look at the chat. I think I got disconnected for a while, but I think I'm back. Right. Hey Fahid, how are you? Yawar asks which Forex app we need to use. I don't know what you're talking about or what you are asking. Sir, gold is in down position. Can we buy? I mean, I, I can't tell you what to do. Just do the work, and if it makes sense to you, go ahead. How how to contact you through Telegram? You cannot, Aaron. You cannot have direct contact with me. Sorry about that. But um, yeah. I mean, we don't do that. The next year we're going to start offering, one-on-one sessions, but we're never going to have like an open chat. I was adding VIP crypto, but I want to be adding VIP forex. Yeah, war. Um, right. So you bought, I mean, you subscribed to the VIP crypto, but you wanted to subscribe to the VIP forex. Is that your question? Sunil, thank you for that. Fahid, joined biannually this morning, looking to get some juice signals. Welcome to the team, mate. Welcome to the team. So let's have a look at the SQUAC, what has happened. I mean, today is going to be a really, really slow day, well, news-wise, right? And I mean, we haven't had any um, high impact news, or I haven't had any high impact news on the SQUAC. Uh, you know, um, uh, about 30 minutes or an hour ago, um, there were good news about COVID in the UK. So why don't we go ahead and have a look at the pound? Not directional, the pound actually. Um, yeah, I mean, the pound, the Euro USD, also not directional. The Aussie, I was looking for possible longs on the Aussie, but this setup was less than optimal. And also, this would have been a US dollar driven trade. And if we look at the USD, I mean, we're looking at a very, very bullish market. More so because on the lower time frames, you can see that a bullish flag is in play. Now, yeah, I mean, if you follow my shows, right, or if you follow me, um, you already know that I'm not looking to trade the USD in the middle of this range, right? I haven't placed a US dollar trade in a while, just because price is trading inside of this range. To me, this is a no trade range, right? Why would I place a trade here on the USD? It doesn't make sense to me. So, what I'm waiting is um, a possible breakout. I mean, I'm just looking for buys on the US dollar, right? So what I'm waiting for is a breakout of those highs, a retest for me to be able to look for US dollar longs or a pullback towards these lows. Now, my preferred setup or my preferred play is a breakout. The reason is because this base is really, really, really choppy, right? In the sense that, well, the past two lows, which are, well, these are December lows, are flat. But this low right here and this low right here makes for a very, very wide stop loss on US dollar longs on a pullback towards that 96 level. And on the other hand, if the US dollar rallies and it breaks with the 97, retests the 97, here I'm going to be able to find a much better R on a US dollar long. Let's have a look at the chat. Sunil, sir, before you gave one signal in VIP group S&P 500 or SPX 500, I'm a little bit confused. Please, can you make clear for this? So all the VIP S&P 500, right? Um, now, on the broker that I am trading, right? The CFD is a CFD on the SPX, right? Now, um, CFDs differ from broker to broker, but I mean, if you're looking for the S&P 500, just look for US 500, SPX 500, or just ask the support chat on the broker that you are trading with, right? Okay, so have I been triggered on this? No, not yet. Right, not yet. This is quite interesting because I do believe the price went. No, it didn't. It didn't went through um, my entry level, but it's quite about to go. So that's the reason that I took profits on my uh, Nasdaq longs from yesterday, right? And just if you look at price action right now, it was a clearly good idea to take profits. I mean, no one in the history of trading has gone broke by taking profits. Yeah, um, this long, uh, this long play or this long idea on the Nasdaq from yesterday was quite the midterm, let's call it midterm trade in the sense that I was targeting those highs, right? I was targeting those highs. But you can't get married to a trade or to a trade idea. You know, once I saw the Dow, right, being capped to the upside by this massive level, and the S&P 500 being capped to the upside by this massive level, right, it was quite obvious that we were going to possibly have a bearish open. And just got trigger short on the S&P 500 here. This is very cool. Um, yeah, um, this is quite awesome actually. So we're going to keep that trade open. You're welcome, all of you that are not part of the VIP team. Um, yeah, you're more than welcome for this freebie, you know. But um, we are still running that 30% discount on your monthly subscription for the VIP group, right? And I have no clue why you guys are still reluctant to take it. You know, you know what, Sonal, sir? What about gold is coming down? Yeah, I mean, I personally got stopped out on my gold longs. Today I made a mistake. It happens, right? I'm gonna show you. So this is the mistake that I made. Okay, cool. I'm gonna show you on the 50-minute chart, right? I took a gold long right here, right here, right? And I was managing my trade and I accidentally closed it here, right? Yeah, that was really, really, I mean, it that was really, really, really fucked up because this is my power buy level, right? And with this entry was optimal, super, super good entry, right? So Because of that, I made 35 pips on this trade, you know, uh, but because of that, I was looking for another entry long in gold. So I took this breakout, right, with stop losses below these lows. And I got stopped out on this second long. Now, if I hadn't made that mistake of, accidentally closed my first buys, I would have been taken out at break even. Um, so I ended up, losing about 0.2% instead of breaking even on this long in gold, which is fine, right? Yeah, so let's have a look at the S&P 500 again. Um, you know, uh, a part of the idea of buying the Nasdaq yesterday was about getting on a possible Santa's rally, right? You know that seasonality wise, U.S. equities rally at the end of the year, you know, because of the holidays, everybody is shopping for Christmas, etc., etc., etc. But and that's why my longs on the Nasdaq yesterday were above average risk wise. Why? Because first of all, last week the Federal Reserve came out super hawkish. You already know that. I repeat this every single day. And they said that they were going to start closing that liquidity hose that they've been uh, showering the market with for the past 2 years. And they said that we're going to have a couple of rate hikes next year. This is, of course, bearish for equities. More so because the rally that we have seen after the pandemic is completely fabricated by liquidity injection, right? And also, worldwide, we have seen, and most in the United States, we have seen very big spikes in COVID cases. And some states have come back to close, um, to mask mandates, closing non-essential businesses, etc. So that is also quite bearish for equities. But the setup yesterday was so good. Just have a look at the daily chart. This is what I was looking at. If you were not here yesterday, I'm going to go through this very quickly. I was looking at this. After this ABC pullback at the 161.8, right? Um, the Nasdaq rallied towards those targets at the 161.8 of the ABC and then pulled back to August and September highs, which is the 50% retracement of the entire move to the upside. So the setup was high probability, technically speaking, but the reality of the market and the economy is not um, it's not as clear as I would want it to be for this setup to be um, massively high probability. That's one of the reasons also that after I saw lack of momentum to the upside and more so kind of a double top here, I decided to close it before the market opened because um, because there was no clear direction, right? Pre-market, uh, and the open usually is very volatile and without real direction, without real momentum, it could have gone both anyway. It could have gone up or it could have gone down. So When I see this, basically, um, I mean, holding on to that trade would have been gambling, and that is not. I mean, and that is where you lose the edge and you stop making money. Aaron, Kaya made the account, but just need to know how I start receiving signals. Well, you need to send all your information to our support email. Um, the address should be at the top of my screen. Let's have a look at those S&P 500 shorts. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's good. It's good. Still good. Right. So I'm looking at the 50-minute chart. How am I going to manage this? Should the S&P 500 um, rally from here, right? Um, what do you guys think? What would you do? What would you do on a lack of momentum to the downside? Would you close the trade right now or not? That's a good question. Um, Sunil, um, uh, I haven't seen you on my shows before, but one thing that I don't do is look at a market because you asked me to, right? I am not your personal technical analyst, but if you tell me what you are looking at, what you want to do, the levels you're looking at, I can give you my opinion, you know. If you don't, then, I'm just not going to do it. Right, so what would you do if the S&P 500 starts to rally? Are you going to panic close those sales or not? Because right now, yeah, we are in a little bit of a drought. I mean, to me, this is break even, right? But, there are some people out there that do not stand or can't stand a little bit of a drawdown in their trades, right? And yeah, that's why my stop losses are always quite wide in the sense that I always have an invalidation level, and in this case, of course, is today's highs. So this gives my trade a little bit of room to breathe, right? I mean, and on this particular trade, let me show you, right? On this particular trade, the actual level that the price broke with was this one. Actually, I'm going to use a rectangle. Actually, no, I'm going to use a couple of lines because I have the other thing, right? This is the level that I'm looking at, right? So what I'm looking at here is a break and a retest of this level. Remember that, key levels or support and resistance or whatever are zones. They're not straight lines. So basically, right now, what I'm looking at, in fact, why don't we go to the even lower time frames, the 5-minute chart? Let's go to the 3-minute chart, right? What I'm looking at right now is what I've been telling you, right? A break and a retest of these previous broken lows. Now, if the S&P 500 rallies a little bit above it, that's fine with me. I will keep my shorts. Now, if the S&P 500 rallies above these highs, now here is where I would think that these shorts are in trouble, right? But I wouldn't close them because my stop loss is really, really close to those highs. So I am willing to take on a deep pullback, maybe towards this lows, this level right here. I mean, I'm completely fine with a retest of these previous lows before the actual or the possible move to the downside. Let's have a look. S&P 500, SPX 500 on sell stop. Well, I'm already triggered in on my sales. You know, right now would be market execution. The sell stop got triggered already. Yeah, my sell stop got triggered already. Do you think we should sell gold at 1785? Listen, mate. That is the kind of questions that I do not answer, right? Because I mean, just think about what you're asking. I mean, you're asking me if I think that we should sell gold at 1785, right? I could tell you why I think that that is the most crazy idea ever, but I'm not going to. Why don't you tell me why do you think it's a good idea to sell gold at the 1785 level, right? Why don't we go ahead and have a look at gold? Because I mean, I just noticed that there's a lot of you that like trading this market. Oh boy. So, yeah, that's a big, big dip in gold. Right, so you're talking about 1785. Okay, cool. This is going to be a good lesson on FOMO, right? Now, um, you're talking about selling right now at market at the 1785. So, you need to ask yourself this: where would your stop losses be, right? Where would your stop losses be? And you need to know that stop losses are placed, in this case, above because you are trying to sell or looking to sell gold above the level that invalidates the short idea or invalidates the move to the downside, right? We're looking at the 50-minute chart, and right, and just by looking at the market structure, right? Just by looking at the market structure, uh, here we have a lower high, a lower low, a lower high, and then we have price moving to the downside, right? You're telling me that you're looking to sell here. So where would your stop losses be, right? You know, placing your stop losses above these candles week to me is burning money, right? Completely and utterly burning money, right? If you have FOMO and do not want to miss the move to the downside, right? um, your stop losses should be above these highs. This makes for a very, very wide stop loss, right? And then you have to think where are your targets in this possible move, right? And when looking for targets, right? You never place your TPs or your targets um, at a level that you are comfortable with the risk to reward on the trade that you're taking. That also is burning money. The levels that you place your targets are the next key level, right? Because you don't know if price is going to break below the next level of support. And where is the next level of support? Well, just look at historic price action. Just look at the next pivotal level where price has pivoted around, or where big buyers or big sellers have entered before. And just by the look at it, right, the next key level is this one right here, right? So by entering here, your stop losses should be above these highs, and your targets should be here. So basically, you would be trading a 0.35 risk to reward ratio, which in the long term is going to lose you money, right? So yeah, don't get FOMO on, on moves that already happened. You know, there's always the next setup. Always the next trade, and you have to learn. just to let things go. Be stoic about your trading. You know, there's tons of things that you cannot control in in this game, and it is a game. It's a zero-sum game. When you lose money, I make money, right? That's why. That's why this game is beatable because you are competing against other people, right? And you have to find your edge. And without edge and without consistency and without understanding the math behind trading, you're never going to make money in the long term, right? Um, uh, this question that you asked me leads me to believe that you are really, really results oriented, and that is just the worst. And when I'm saying, and when I say results oriented, I'm talking about um, looking at the results of one single trade, right? Rather than understanding the profitability of one setup based on fucking data. So yeah, I wouldn't touch this with your fat finger. More so because I'm looking for buys in metals due to high inflation, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know that might not play out. Who knows? But because of such a wow, that's a strong dollar. You know what? Thank you. I missed those US dollar buys. Let's have a quick look at some markets because this is a strong dollar move. Wow, this is a strong dollar. The US dollar yen should be rallying. Yeah, this is the one that I was looking at and I missed it, of course. But that's fine. Let's look at the S&P 500. I mean, yeah, yeah. When I say TP 1.6 is 1.6 is 1 to 1.6 risk to reward ratio. So yeah, the US dollar Japanese yen. This is a buy setup that I was looking at. You know, perfect flat triangle. More so because this bullish momentum is driven by US dollar bullishness and Japanese yen bearishness. So this is a double whammy that I missed. Damn it, which is fine, which is fine. I mean, you can't catch every single trade. And also because I have three trades open that are that are in full risk. So based on my rules, I cannot take another trade unless I close one at break even or I move my stops at break even on one of them. But you know, those trades are gone. Yeah, I was looking to at this too. But the reason that I didn't like the pound short is just have a look at the 12-hour chart. Um, let's go higher, even 15-hour chart. And the reason that I go to a 15-hour chart, 18-hour chart or so is just so to take out the noise on the charts. But basically, this is this level is so heavy historically that I'm just not a fan of shorting overextended bearish moves or buying overextended bullish moves. But you know, a short-term trade here on the pound versus the US dollar would have worked for a nice 60 pips. It's gone, of course. Euro USD gone. USD CAD non-directional. That Aussie USD, long idea that I was talking about earlier that I didn't take because of that bullish flag that I saw
Just about just under a minute now to the 4 o'clock London fix.
on the US dollar, right? Yeah. And this is the other thing, right? This setup on the Aussie was quite good if you look at it. Let me delete this, right? I'm gonna show you on the hourly, right? Let's go to the 2-hour chart so you can all see what I was looking at. Yeah, technically speaking, right, the Aussie was uh, rejecting again this massive pivotal level, historic pivotal level, and on the short term, it was above this breakout uh, resistance. Let's call it right. This is the 2-hour chart. So if we go to the hourly, yeah, I was looking at the possibility of buying this breakout. But, technically speaking, this is an okay setup, you know. But you're trading currencies, right? And the first mistake that everybody makes, when they start trading forex, is just going to through your currency pairs one by one, looking for setups without knowing what currency you're trading. In this case, um, the move on the Aussie would have been or is a US dollar driven move. And because I saw this possible bullish breakout, which is in play right now, which we missed or I missed, right? My longs on the Aussie USD were completely and utterly, um, you know, um, uh, not false, but I mean, they were not in play because strong US dollar means weak Aussie. Right, the Kiwi, uh, yeah. Personally speaking, I don't trade the Aussie USD, the Aussie dollar, I'm sorry, or the Kiwi. But yeah, this setup is looking really, really good. I'm not going to take it, but we can go through it, right? Um, yeah, again, a very overextended move to the downside on the daily and you know the 8-hour chart. Uh, but on the lower time frames, this retest of this previous pivotal level
Let's note
on
again,
a
feeding into the
strong USD.
inflation here,
Let
you've
me
got
just
British wholesale
mute
gas for the
this.
weekend delivery
On a strong
has now risen
USD could yield
22.8%
a nice
to
short
£4.5
or
a therm.
a
Wholesale
continuation
gas for immediate
on
delivery is
this
up
past
17.5% to £4.5 a therm.
dip.
And you've got front month
Actually,
wholesale
let's
gas prices rising
calculate the ratios and
21.45%
everything. So from
to
high to low, we've seen a
£4.53.
1.9% move to the downside. Um, this is from December 16th, so a couple of days worth of trading. Big, big move. Um, uh, this pullback should be around yeah
Just
the
getting some
50 or
COVID
30,
numbers through now.
um,
19,629
32
more
or
COVID
so.
cases for the UK
Um,
on December
I don't. I
21st.
mean, I don't trade Fibonacci's, and some of you might think that that is misleading because on my
That's down
charts
from
you see ratios, right?
91,743 a day
Um,
earlier. This is
what I
government data.
don't do is
So that's seen
trade
a
the
decrease
pullbacks,
there
right?
for
The 50,
Tuesday.
61.8 or
You've got 90,629
38.2%
versus
pullbacks, right?
91,743
Um,
for cases in the UK.
I calculate the pullbacks ratio-wise just to look
There's
for
172
um,
new COVID 19 deaths on
wait,
Tuesday compared with
I mean
44
if
a day
this
earlier.
move confluences with the weekly pivot, the 50% or the 61.8, right, and a key pivotal level that gives this trade idea a higher probability of success. But I don't base my trading decisions on Fibonacci's. The way that I use Fibonacci's is um, this. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. We're good. I'm good. I don't know if you are, but I am good. The way that I used fibs, right, is to calculate our ratios on the structure, right? For example, right, this was a power buy on the Nasdaq. Um, and actually, let's go to, let me show you because, and sadly, I missed it. I missed it because I was not in front of my screens when the setup developed. Yeah, that was a really, really, really sucky day, but it happens. But markets, um, I mean, you can calculate. Not, I mean, some people call them waves, right? Or some people call them moves, or whatever you want to call them. But ratios, just by looking at the key ratios, for
Just note
example,
Turkey's
61.8 on
5-year credit
pullbacks
default
and
swaps now fall
161.8
to
on
604
targets, you
basis
can
points, down
calculate
18 basis
and
points from
be
Monday's
more accurate
19-month
on your
high.
entries and your exits. For example, on this buy, right, on this buy, I was not going to base my decision to buy the Nasdaq's dip, right? Just on the 161.8, of course not, right? But it's a confluence between the weekly pivot was around here or so, right? The previous lows, the key pivotal level, right? These flat lows on the September lows, August lows, right? And that fake out, that bear trap, right? And then again, I was not going to buy on this candle right here. Of course not, right? My entry was at the retest and after seeing a higher low. Why? Because, when I first started, I always wanted to get in on the best price, get the best risk to reward ratio, and that on the long term doesn't make money. Why? Because what you are actually doing is just trying to catch bottoms or tops, right? And that is just a losing proposition. So, by calculating the ratios here, right, and the correlate, not correlation, but the 161.8 being at the same level as the past 2 months lows, right, and just by looking at historic price action, I could see that this is where buyers were jumping in, and the level that buyers were jumping in, right? And then, boom, we got that fake out. So bear trap. Again, buyers jumping in. But, the short term bear structure was still in play. Why? Because price was still making higher and lower highs and lower lows. So I need the structure or the immediate structure to break. And this, my friends, this low is what broke the immediate bearish structure and would have given me my entry. On the lower time frames, the entry was around here with an awesome risk to reward ratio towards that 161.8. That would have been my third target. My first target would have been around these lows, then of course the highs, and then the 161.8. And that's the way that I look for trades. That's the way that I look for high probability setups. And if you are a VIP member, let's just have a look at this S&P 500. Oh boy, it's about to stop me out. No, of course not. Let's have a look at the 50-minute chart. And yeah, we're still in play. So this is what I was telling you about. I'm going to come back to that explanation on the Nasdaq in about after we see this. This is what I was telling you about. Now I'm giving this trade room to breathe, right? On a possible deep pullback. Okay, so where are the lines here? I, I never used my MT4 for technical analysis or so. This is actually the key level that would invalidate this possible short idea on the S&P 500. But like I told you before, right? I saw the setup, right? I saw the setup. The setup was high probability. I took the trade, right? I have a plan for this trade. I am okay with the risk that I took, okay? And um, just by having control on those factors, I don't panic sell. I don't panic sell. I've seen tons of traders, panicking because of a pullback on their trades and closing their trades at a loss, right? Just to see price reverse on that, in this case, on this previous low, right? So I am okay with the risk that I took, and of course, with the result, either a win or a loss. Now, coming back to that Nasdaq, um, well, I think I'm done with the Nasdaq. So, yeah, if you're part of the VIP team, you know that uh, I don't trade very often. Right now, I do have a couple of trades open, but um, um, on my past 10 trades, I've lost one. Uh, this would be this would be a second if it continues to rally, which I think it will, which is fine. Well, I don't know if it will, right? But overall, I am up this month quite a bit. And yeah, you have to focus on high probability setups because the edge that you could have in this game is very thin, very thin, right? You just bought the Nasdaq for a quick scalp. Well, congratulations. Let's have a look at your trade right here. Yep. Looks good. I mean, I don't know. I don't know your entry. Awesome, Duan. Awesome. Right. So, any questions? I've been live for about 50 minutes. Haven't had any questions. Yeah, I'm gonna give you guys a couple of minutes to ask me anything you want. Actually, I am open to any questions. And yeah, if not, I'm going to end my stream and the show. Again, all the trade management on this short on the S&P 500, of course, I will send to my VIPs. But I'm holding this one. I'm really holding this one because, and let me show you why this is a high probability trade. Okay, now don't even look at the higher time frames. Let's just have a look at this. Okay, now this is a high probability trade. Why? Why is it a high probability trade? So the first thing, of course, it's a short-term trade, right? Because we're just targeting this is yesterday's lows, right? Around yesterday's lows. I'm targeting around yesterday's lows. So what I'm looking here is a impulses, right? The impulsive moves direction, right? For the past 1, 2, 3, 4, let's call it no, 1, 2, 3, 4 trading days, we have seen impulsive moves to the downside. So the highest probability trade here is to the downside. More so because of the fundamentals that I just explained, right? And right, so that's number one. We're trading below the weekly pivot. The weekly pivot to me just gives me a short-term bias on the market. And also, let me go to a 2-hour chart because I want you to look at the actual levels that I am looking at right here. Let's call it this. This is fine. So, number one, right? Bulls, after this massive bullish move, right? Buyers were unable to keep bidding price up, and then sellers took control of this market, right? Breaking with not one, but two key levels, right? The sell-off stopped, of course, at the previous lows, around the previous lows, and now we saw a pullback towards those previous broken lows. So that is number two, which gives me another check on my checklist, right? And ratio-wise, again, I am not a Fibonacci trader, but I know some of you love this. We're talking about a 38.2, right? Um, uh, you know, it confluences, but more so, I was looking at this, right? Uh, and to show you this, I have to go to the 50-minute chart, okay? So I was looking at this, okay? Why did I focus on this level as being the cap to the upside? Well, because if you notice here, right, let's calculate those short-term bullish targets at 161.8, and as you can see, um, those targets are right there. Hold on, I think you can't see them. Let me just again pull them off, and as you can see, they're right there. Those first bullish targets. Okay, more so, and a little bit of divergence here oscillator, etc., gives me a high probability trade, right? Sometimes those high probability setups don't work out, which is fine, but In the long term, I would take this setup over and over and over because it makes money, right? So that's what I mean when I say you don't have to be results oriented. And also, you know, I didn't take this trade just because I saw the setup once I was live. No, um, I prepared these shows beforehand, of course, um, and I made a mistake on the thumbnail of this show, but that's fine. Um, I think I put long instead of short, which is okay. But okay, so basically, what I was looking at is what I just explained to you, and because I have done the backtest and the work, this setup on this market is actually extremely profitable. So if I lose this trade, I'm completely fine, and I would take it over and over and over because on the long term, it's going to make money. So yeah, to return, being results oriented, you have no idea how many people, email support, completely angry because they lost one trade by following one of my trades, and I really don't understand uh, the thought process behind being angry by losing one trade. Okay, first of all, it's not even your setup. You have no clue um, about how profitable this setup is on the market that I am trading it. So, uh, and that's the other reason that I do these shows, uh, to give you guys a space to ask me smart questions about the way that I trade, if you follow my trades, right? That's why I hate people asking me, go and see gold. Do you think we should buy gold? Fuck that. I'm never going to answer those questions, Uh, the goal of the goal on these shows just to have a smart conversation about the markets and ask me anything about my trading strategy or system or whatever you want to call it. That's something that I'm really, really interested in talking about. So if there's no more question, guys, thank you for joining me. No, yeah, you can hear me. I thought that you couldn't. So thank you for joining me again. I will be back tomorrow, right? Congratulations on those on that quick scalp on the Nasdaq. Pretty good. I will be back tomorrow around the same time, maybe earlier. I don't know. Um, a couple of months ago, I did this show right at the New York Open, but um, it was pointless because we were never going to trade the Open because of high volatility. So I've been testing doing it, half an hour after the Open or an hour before the Open, and I believe that half an hour or 45 minutes after the Open is the best time to do it. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, just do it. Click the button below. It's free, and that helps us out a ton with the YouTube algorithm. And also, if what I'm talking about makes sense to you, you know, um, click the link below the video, subscribe to the VIP team. If you use the code December, you get a 30% discount. That promo will end soon, and um, with that discount, it's only 24 pounds and 50 pence. So, yeah. Um, if you are okay with losing $200 and re-depositing $200, but are not okay with subscribing to a group of where you can actually learn from a traders or from a group of traders, maybe you don't have the correct mindset. And of course, if this is not for everybody. There are some people that are not going to agree with the way that I look at the markets or the way that I trade the markets, and that is completely fine. You should be with a group of traders that trade the way that you do. Um, I'm not pushing this to anybody. I know that this is not for anybody, and there's tons of ways to make money in the markets. If what you want is get in and out of the market 20 times a day, that well, this is not the place for you. But if what you are looking at is to learn a little bit about macro or global macro, how to understand why the markets move the way they do, get an edge on your trading by understanding the fundamentals, etc. You know, this is the place. So thank you for joining me again, guys. Um, you know, um, I really, really want you guys to ask me more questions because, these monologues are a little bit tiring. I'll keep doing them, but please ask me more questions. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.